Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, July 28th, 2020. Today I'm going to go over the weekend and yesterday's Major League Baseball games and look ahead to today's games since they did not cancel the season yet, so that's a good thing. Soccer will recap yesterday's MLS's back tournament games and look ahead to tonight's games. I'll do my baseball power rankings. As of right now, that was supposed to be on yesterday's show. We'll talk about the Jets trading of Jamal Adams, the New York Knicks, not a done deal yet, but appears to be hiring a new coach. A big name in our world passes away, and my best bet of the day. All right, we'll start with baseball. We'll start with Friday's games and then go all the way to Monday. Yesterday I was just a little, down because I was really expecting an announcement being made that the season could have potentially been canceled because all the owners met at 12:30. But so without further ado, we'll start Friday night. Mets over the Braves 1-0 on Friday. Seth Lugo gets the win. The loss, Chris Martin, Edwin Diaz the save. The lone run of the game on a homer by Yoenis Cespedes. Mike Soroka, 6 innings, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And Jacob deGrom, 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Reds over the Tigers 7-1. Sonny Gray with the win. Matt Boyd, the loss. Bottom of the first. Bases loaded, hit by pitch. Nicholas Castellanos, 1-0 Reds, and Phillip Ervin scores. RBI single, Mike Moustakas, 2-0 Reds. RBI single, Mike Moustakas again, 3-0 Reds, top of the fourth. Home run, CJ Cron, that was the lone run for the Tigers, 3-1. By the way, the Moustakas' second RBI single was in the third. Bottom of the fifth, home run, Jody Votto, 4-1. Bottom of the sixth, RBI single by the new member of the Cincinnati Reds, Shogo Akiyama, to make it a 5-1 game. And then the bottom of the seventh, 2-run shot, Mike Moustakas, 7-1 Reds. That was your final. Sonny Gray, 6 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Matt Boyd, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Blue Jays over the Rays 6-4. The win, Jordan Romano lost Charlie Morton to save Ken Giles. Top of the fourth was where the scoring started. 3 runs for the Jays. RBI single, Randall Grichuk. Sac fly by Rowdy Tellez. Sacrifice fly, Teoscar Hernandez. Bottom of the fourth, RBI double by Michael Brusso to make it a 3-1 game. Top of the fifth, 3-run home run, Cavan Biggio to make it 6-1. Bottom of the fifth, a home run by new Rays player Yoshitomo Satsugo to make it a 6-3 game. Then the bottom of the eighth, RBI single, Willie Adames make it 6-4 to make it look respectable. Heijen Ryu, 4 2/3 innings, 4 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Charlie Martin, 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Cubs over the Brewers 3-0. Kyle Hendricks the win. Brandon Woodruff the loss. Bottom of the third, 2-run shot. Ian Happ, 2-0 Cubs. Bottom of the eighth, home run. Anthony Rizzo makes it 3-0. Kyle Hendricks, a complete game, 3 hit, 9 strikeout performance. No one runs, no walks either, by the way. And then Brandon Woodruff, 5 innings, 4 2 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Marlins over the Phillies 5-2. Sandy Alcantara to win. Aaron Nola the loss. Brandon Kinsler to save. Top of the third, sac fly, Jonathan Villar, 1-0. Bottom of the fifth, home run, Didi Gregorius, 1-1. Top of the sixth, home run, Jesus Aguilar, 2-run shot, 3-1. Wild pitch by the pitcher Rosso from Philadelphia. Dickerson scores 4-1 Marlins. RBI double by Garrett Cooper to make it 5-1. And bottom of the seventh, Gregorius scores on the error, 5-2 Marlins, your final. Sandy Alcantara, 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Aaron Nola, 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts. Because of time, I'm not going to really go over the scores. I'll just say who hit home runs in each game now. Indians over the Royals 2-0. Shane Bieber to win, Danny Duffy to loss, Brad Hand to save. The Indians scored both runs in the bottom of the fifth on hits by Oscar Mercado, an RBI single, and Cesar Hernandez, an RBI double. Shane Bieber, 6 innings for it, and no earned runs, a walk, and 14 strikeouts. And Danny Duffy, 4 in the third innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Red Sox over the Orioles, 13-2. Nate Eovaldi to win, Tommy Malone the loss. The only guy to hit a homer in this game was Rio Ruiz of the Orioles in the top of the seventh. It was a meaningless home run to make the score 13-2. Nate Eovaldi, 6 innings, 5 hits, and a run, to walk, 4 strikeouts. And Tommy Malone, 3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Rangers over the Rockies, 1-0. Lance Lynn to win, Herman Marquez the loss, Jose Leclerc the save. Lone run scored on an RBI double by Rougned Odor. Lance Lynn, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts. And Herman Marquez, 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, and a run, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Twins over the White Sox, 10-5. Getting the win for Minnesota was Trevor May, and the loss, Lucas Giolito. Max Kepler had 2 homers. Yoan Moncada homered to tie the game at 5 apiece at the bottom of the second. And then the Twins kind of pulled away in the latter half of the game. Jose Barrios, 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Lucas Giolito, 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Cardinals over the Pirates, 5-4. Jack Flaherty to win, Joe Musgrove the loss, and getting the save for the Cardinals, Kwang Hyun Kim. Home runs in this game were hit by Tyler O'Neill, Dexter Fowler, and Paul DeYoung. Flaherty, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and Musgrove, 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Astros over the Mariners, 8-2. Justin Verlander to win, Marco Gonzalez the loss. And by the way, Justin Verlander has an injury to his forearm. Rumor was that he was supposed to miss the rest of the season, and Verlander went out and denied it. So, the player, Justin Verlander, although he's been a character on social media, but I think he is being truthful when he talked about that report about him being out for the season. So hopefully he gets well soon. Kyle Lewis and Kyle Seager homered for the Mariners, and Michael Brantley for the Astros in this game. Verlander, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. Marco Gonzalez, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Padres over the Diamondbacks, 7-2. Chris Paddock to win, Madison Bumgarner the loss. The lone home run in this game came from the Diamondbacks. Cole Calhoun in the top of the 7th. Chris Paddock, 6 innings, 4 hits, and no one runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Madison Bumgarner, 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, walks, and 4 strikeouts. Giants fall short at the Dodgers, 9-1. Dodgers went to 2-0. Giants 0-2. Ross Stripling the win and getting the loss for the Giants, Tyler Anderson. Homers in this game were by Max Muncy, who homered twice, and of the Giants, Jalen Davis hit a long ball for them. Ross Stripling, 7 innings, 4 hits, and a run, no walks, 7 strikeouts. And Tyler Anderson, an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. Athletics over the Angels, 7-3 in 10 innings on a walk-off grand slam by Matt Olson. Getting the win for Oakland was Birch Smith, and the loss was Hansel Robles. Homers in this game, Ramon Laureano, a game-tying home run in the top of the 9th inning by Jason Castro, and then the walk-off grand slam by Olson in the bottom of the 10th. Starting this game for Oakland was Frankie Montas, 4 innings, 3 hits, and a run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And Andrew Heaney, 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, and a run, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Saturday's results. Brewers over the Cubs, 8-3. Brewers were 1-1. Cubs were 1-1. Getting the win was Brent Sutter, the loss, Yu Darvish. Homers in this game were by Justin Smoke, Kyle Schwarber, and Christian Yelich. Corbin Burns started 3 1/3 innings, 2 hits, and a run, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts, or 6 strikeouts, my bad. Yu Darvish, 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Red Sox lose to the Orioles 7-2. Orioles 1-1. Red Sox 1-1. Alex Cobb the win. And Martin Perez the loss. The lone home run in this game was by Mitch Moreland. Alex Cobb 5 in the third innings, 4 hits and a run, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And Perez 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. White Sox over the Twins 10-3. That was a good bounce back win for them. 1-1. Twins were 1-1. Dallas Keuchel the win and getting the loss for the Twins. Randy Dobnak. Home runs in this game were by Leury Garcia, Eloy Jimenez, Nelson Cruz, James McCann, and Leury Garcia again. Dallas Keuchel 5 in the third inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and a strikeout. And Dobnak 4 innings, 3 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Cardinals over the Pirates 9-1. Cardinals 2-0, Pirates 0-2. Adam Wainwright the win, Trevor Williams the loss. The lone home run in this game was by Paul Goldschmidt. Wainwright 6 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, and walk, 5 strikeouts. Trevor Williams 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Rays over the Blue Jays 4-1. Each team was 1-1. Nick Anderson the win, Sam Gaviglio the loss, and Oliver Drake the save. The lone home run in this game was by Reese McGuire of Toronto. Ryan Yarbrough started for Tampa, 5 in the third innings, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Shoemaker 6 innings, 3 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Phillies over the Marlins 7-1. Zach Wheeler to win and getting the loss for Miami. Alex Vezia. Home runs in this game, Didi Gregorius, and then Phil Gosselin homered twice. JT Realmuto homered as well. Wheeler 7 innings, 5 hits, and a run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Caleb Smith started for the Marlins, 3 innings, a hit and a run, 6 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Rockies over the Rangers 3-2. Rockies 1-1. Texans 1-1. Getting the win for the Rockies, Daniel Bard. I believe that was his first win since 2013, so that's a great story. Mike Minor the loss, Wade Davis the save. No homers in this game. John Gray started 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, and a run, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Mike Minor 5 innings, 3 hits, and a run, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Astros over the Mariners 7-2. Astros were 2-0. Mariners 0-2. Lance McCullers Jr. to win. Tyjon Walker to loss. Home runs in this game: Yuli Gurriel, Kyle Lewis again, and then George Springer. McCullers 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Walker 3 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Giants over the Dodgers 5-4. Giants 1-2, Dodgers 2-1. Getting the win for San Francisco, Caleb Brager. Lost Alex Wood, and getting the save was Trevor Gott. Home runs in this game by Wilmer Flores and Will Smith. Logan Webb started for San Francisco, 4 innings, 6 hits, and a run, and a walk, and 2 strikeouts. ERA 2.25 to end the game. Well, we're really not going to do the ERA thing until probably after tonight's games, because some of these starters that are going tonight were probably started on opening night for some of these teams. So maybe we'll start doing it on Thursday's show, because that's when everyone is going to have a couple starts in their buckets. Alex Wood, 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Braves over the Mets 5-3. Braves 1-1, Mets 1-1. Getting the win for Atlanta, Luke Jackson, and the loss, Hunter Strickland. Home runs in this game: Adam Duvall, Marcelo Zuna, who homered off of Edwin Diaz to tie the game. They sent it to extras, and then the Braves took advantage of the runner on second to start the inning, even though they scored a couple more after that as well. Max Fried, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Steven Matz, 6 innings, 2 hits, and a run, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. So Steven Matz pitched pretty well in that game for the Mets. Angels over the Athletics 4-1. Angels 1-1. Oakland 1-1. Dylan Bundy to win. Sean Manaea the loss. Hansel Robles to save. The lone home run in this game was off of Justin Upton's bat. Dylan Bundy 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, and a run, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Sean Manaea 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Tigers over the Reds 6-4. Detroit 1-1, and Cincinnati 1-1. Buck Farmer to win, Rafael Iglesias the loss, and Joe Jimenez the save. So the Reds bullpen blew this one. Home runs in this game: Joey Votto, Freddie Galvis, Austin Romine, Miguel Cabrera, Kurt Casale, and Jacoby Jones, who homered off of Rafael Iglesias. Ivan Nova started 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Luis Castillo, 6 innings, 6 hits, and a run, a walk, 11 strikeouts. So he pitched very well. Royals over the Indians 3-2. Royals 1-1, Cleveland 1-1. Getting the win for Kansas City, Scott Barlow. The loss, James Karinchak, and the save, Greg Holland. So Greg Holland is back with the Royals. So that's potentially a good story there. Home runs in this game: Jorge Soler and Salvador Perez. The Marlins. The Royals took advantage of the man on second to start the inning. That's where they got the run on the sacrifice fly by Maikel Franco. Brady Singer in his first big league start: 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Mike Clevenger, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Nationals over the Yankees 9-2. Nats 1-1, Yankees 1-1. Getting the win was Tanner Rainey. The loss, James Paxton. Home runs in this game: Giancarlo Stanton, Victor Robles, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Michael A. Taylor. Eric Feed, 4 innings, 4 hits, and a run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. James Paxton, an inning plus, 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. He did not look like himself in that start. Padres over the Diamondbacks 5-1. Padres 2-0, Diamondbacks 0-2. Danielson, Lamet the win, Robbie Ray the loss. Homers in this game: Will Myers and Manny Machado. Lamet, 5 innings, 5 hits, and a run, a walk, 8 strikeouts. Robbie Ray, 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Sunday's results: Yankees over the Nationals 3-2. Yankees 2-1. Nationals 1-2. Chad Green the win. Sean Doolittle the loss. Zach Britton the save. Home runs in this game: Trey Turner, Kleber Torres, and Luke Voigt. Jonathan Loáisiga started 3 innings, 2 hits, and a run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. So he's pretty much in an opening role there. Patrick Corbin, 6 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, and a run, no walks, 8 strikeouts. So he pitched very well. Marlins over the Phillies 11-6. This is the game where a bunch of positive COVID players played, and that's where Don Mattingly got a lot of the criticism that he got for. But I am not the one that would blame Don Mattingly. I would blame Major League Baseball for letting them play, not their manager. Marlins 2-1, and it's amazing that they won that game with all those COVID positives. And the Phillies 1-2. Stephen Tarpley the win, and Cole Irvin the loss. Home runs in this game: Bryce Harper, Jesus Aguilar, who was hitting well before the Marlins stopped playing. Miguel Rojas, who tested positive, just report that came out. He was one of the players that tested positive. Brian Anderson and Corey Dickerson were the players to homer in this game. Getting the start for Miami was Robert Duggar. 3 in the 3rd inning, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Vince Velasquez, 3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Tigers over the Reds 3-2. This is another game where Detroit won courtesy of the 9th inning. Getting the win for Detroit was Jose Cisnero, Michael Lorenzen the loss, and Joe Jimenez the save. Home runs in this game: Nico Goodrum, and the tying homer for Detroit was C.J. Cron in the top of the 9th. There was a 2-run shot to give him a 3-1 lead, and then Cincinnati scored 1 in the bottom of the 9th on a double by Arcades Aquino to make it a 3-2 game. Steven Turnbull, 5 innings, 3 hits, and a run, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 1.8. Trevor Bauer, 6 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, and a run, a walk, 13 strikeouts. So he had a good season debut. Indians over the Royals 9-2. Indians 2-1, Royals 1-2. Carlos Carrasco to win, and Ronald Bolanos the loss. Home runs in this game by Jose Ramirez and Jose Ramirez. So 2 homers for Ramirez. Carrasco, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 10 strikeouts. Bolanos, 2 innings, 3 hits, and no earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Who's next? The Orioles over the Red Sox 7-4. Orioles 2-1. Boston 1-2. Wade LeBlanc the win. Ryan Weber the loss. And getting the save for Baltimore, Cole Sulser. Home runs in this game, Rio Ruiz, Christian Vasquez, Anthony Santander, Kevin Pillar. Wade LeBlanc, 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Ryan Weber, 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, no strikeouts. Twins over the White Sox, 14-2. Twins 2-1. White Sox 1-2. Kenta Maeda the win. Reynaldo Lopez the loss. Home runs in this game, Jake Cave, a grand slam in the top of the first. Nelson Cruz, Luis Robert, first big league homer. Nelson Cruz again. Marvin Gonzalez, not Marco. Kenta Maeda, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts. Reynaldo Lopez, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, no strikeouts, and 2 walks. Mariners over the Astros 7-6. Mariners 1-2. Houston 2-1. Getting the win for Seattle, Dan Altavilla. The loss, Chris Davinsky. And getting the save for Seattle, Taylor Williams. No homers in this game, amazingly enough. Yusei Kikuchi started 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Zach Greinke, 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Pirates over the Cardinals 5-1. Pittsburgh with the win, they're 1-2. St. Louis 2-1. Mitch Keller to win. Dakota Hudson the loss. Home runs in this game, Colin Moran, Jose Ozuna, 2-run shot. And that's it. Mitch Keller, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. An impressive outing for him. Dakota Hudson, 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Cubs over the Brewers 9-1. The Cubs 2-1. Milwaukee 1-2. Tyler Chatwood the win. Freddie Peralta the loss. Notable home runs, Wilson Contreras, Ian Happ, and Anthony Rizzo, all in the 7th and the 8th innings respectively. And obviously, as we discussed before, Tyler Chatwood got the win. 6 innings, 3 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, so a good performance for him. Freddie Peralta, 3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Rockies over the Rangers 5-2. Kyle Freeland the win. Joe Palumbo the loss. Wade Davis the save. Colorado 2-1. Texas 1-2. Home runs, Joey Gallo, Trevor Story, and then Trevor Story again. Kyle Freeland, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Good outing for him. Corey Kluber left after an inning because of his injury, which is going to keep him out for 4 weeks. So that's a big loss for the Texas Rangers. He pitched an inning, gave up a walk, and struck out 1 batter and left after 1 due to the injury. Athletics over the Angels 6-4. A's 2-1. Angels 1-2. Yusmeiro Petit the win. Shohei Ohtani the loss. Liam Hendricks the save. Mike Trout homered in the top of the 3rd, and then Sean Murphy in the bottom of the 6th. Mike Fiers 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Shohei Ohtani didn't even record an out. 3 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. He was terrible in his first start in 2 years. Diamondbacks over the Padres 4-3. Diamondbacks are on the board with the win 1-2. San Diego 2-1. Archie Bradley the win. Kirby Yates the loss. The lone homer in this game was in the bottom of the 3rd by Eric Hosmer. Zach Allen started 4 innings, 2 hits, and a run, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Walks are a little too high there. Gary Richards 5 innings, 1 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Braves over the Mets 14-1 on Sunday Night Baseball. Just a smashing of the Mets on Sunday Night Baseball. They're 2-1. The Mets are 1-2. Julius Chastain the win. Rick Porcello the loss. Home runs in this game, Dansby Swanson, Marcell Ozuna, Austin Riley, who hit his like to Mars, and Ozzie Albies. Sean Newcomb, 3 1/3 innings, 3 hits and a run, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Rick Porcello, 2 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Giants over the Dodgers 3-1. Giants 2-2. Dodgers 2-2. Wandy Peralta the win. The loss for the Dodgers, Bruce Graterol, and the save for San Francisco, Trevor Gott, who has become their closer, it looks like. No homers in this game. Smiley, 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits and a run, a walk, 2 strikeouts. And Julio Urias got the start for the Dodgers, 5 innings, 5 hits and a run, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Yesterday's results now. 3 games that were postponed, Yankees, Phillies, and Orioles, Marlins because of the Marlins Corona outbreak. And then White Sox, Indians was postponed due to weather makeup date today, July 28th. Athletics over the Angels 3-0 to close out that series. Oakland 3-1, Angels 1-3. Getting the win for Oakland, Birch Smith, who's now 2-0. The loss, Griffin Canning. The save, Joaquin Soria. The lone home run in this game, Mark Hanna, in the bottom of the 4th inning. Chris Bassett, 4 innings, 5 hits, and no runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Griffin Canning, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Padres over the Diamondbacks 6-2. Padres 3-1, Arizona 1-3. Cal Quantrill the win, Luke Weaver the loss. Lone home run in this game, bottom of the 1st by Trent Grisham. Joey Lucchesi, 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Luke Weaver, 3 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Blue Jays over the Nationals 4-1. Blue Jays 2-2. Washington 1-3. Getting the win for Toronto, Ryan Barucki. The loss, Anibal Sanchez. And getting the save for Toronto, Anthony Bass. Home runs in this game, Teoscar Hernandez, Rowdy Tellez, Danny Jansen, and Hernandez again. Trent Thornton, 4 innings, 8 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Anibal Sanchez, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts. Cubs over the Reds 8-7. The Cubs were cruising this game. The Reds came storming back and nearly pulled off a huge comeback to even themselves up at 2-2, but they're sitting at a disappointing 1-3. The Cubs sit at 3-1. John Lester to win, Wade Miley the loss, Jared Jeffress the save after Craig Kimbrell flat out imploded, and then they had to go to Jeffress. Home runs in this game were by Anthony Rizzo and then Tyler Stevenson in the bottom of the 7th when the Reds were attempting their comeback. Chicago, John Lester, 5 innings, no hits, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout, so he pitched pretty well. Wade Miley, 1 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, so he had a disappointing Reds debut. Rays over the Braves, 14-5. Rays 3-1, Atlanta 2-2. Diego Castillo the win, Mike Foltynewicz the loss. Home runs in this game, Dansby Swanson, Mike Zunino, Hunter Renfroe, Joey Wendell, Hunter Renfroe again, Matt Adams, and Jose Martinez. Tyler Glasnow, 4 innings, a hit and a run, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Mike Foltynewicz, 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, and he got designated for assignment after the game. So, somebody, I think, will pick him up because I think he has talent. Maybe a change of scenery can do him some wonders. And everyone's saying that the Braves cut him because there wasn't room for him and they want to call up Kyle Wright and whatnot. But I just don't think that he's lived up to expectations. That's why he was ultimately cut. And yeah, you could say that they had no room for him. That could also be true as well. But hopefully somebody picks him up and he will succeed because he has a lot of talent. Brewers over the Pirates 6-5. Brewers 2-2. Pirates 1-3. David Phelps the win and Dovbyas Neverauskas the loss. Home runs in this game were hit by Colin Moran. He hit 2 of them. He has 3 home runs on the season now, Colin Moran. Adrian Hauser started 5 innings and a hit and a run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. And by the way, Milwaukee wins 6-5 in 11 innings. That means they took advantage of the runner on second because Eric Sogard hit the RBI double to give them the lead in the top of the 11th. Stephen Brault, 2 innings, a hit, no runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Royals over the Tigers 14-6. Royals 2-2. Tigers 2-2. Getting the win, Foster Griffin, the loss, Kyle Funkhauser. Home runs in this game, Maikel Franco homered twice. Jacoby Jones, his second of the season. Whit Merrifield, Salvador Perez, that was his second homer of the season. Jorge Soler and the last home run, Brett Phillips. So, those are home runs in this game. And then, obviously, Victor Reyes for the Tigers as well. Mike Montgomery, 2 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Michael Fulmer started 2 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, no walks, or 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Astros over the Mariners 8-5. Astros 3-1. Seattle 1-3. Getting the win, Brandon Bielak. The loss, Kendall Graveman. The save, Roberto Osuna. Home runs in this game, Evan White, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve. And Josh James started for Houston, 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. Graveman, 4 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. And last but not least, Mets over the Red Sox, 7-4. Good bounce back win for the Mets. They're 2-2. While the Red Sox are 1-3. Michael Walker the win. Josh Osich the loss. Seth Lugo the save. Home runs in this game, Michael Conforto, Pete Alonso, Dominic Smith, Mitch Moreland, Xander Bogaerts. Michael Walker, 5 innings, 5 hits, and a run, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Good Mets debut for him. And Osich started for Boston, 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Today's games postponed due to coronavirus. Obviously, the Yankees, Phillies, and the Orioles, and the Marlins. There's talk that the Phillies and Yankees may play on Wednesday night in the Bronx. And there's a strong thought out there that Marlins Orioles from Baltimore will not happen because of the numerous positives for Miami continue to rise. 3:40 today, you have the White Sox and the Indians, Dylan Cease and Aaron Savali. 6 o'clock, Blue Jays, Nationals, Tanner Roark and Austin Voth. Cubs, Reds, Alec Mills and Tyler Mahle. Braves, Rays, Kyle Wright gets his first start of the season against Yanni Chirinos. Brewers, Pirates at 7 o'clock, Josh Lindblom and Derek Holland. White Sox, Indians, Game 2, Leury Garcia. My bad, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh well. Carlos Rodon against Adam Plutko. Royals, Tigers, Kyle Zimmer, and we don't know who's going for Detroit yet. Mets, Red Sox at 7:30, David Peterson against Matt Hall. 8 o'clock, Cardinals, Twins, Carlos Martinez and Homer Bailey. 9 o'clock, Diamondbacks, Rangers, Merrill Kelly and Kyle Gibson. Dodgers, Astros on Fox Sports 1, Walker Buehler and Framber Valdez. The Dodgers have to be the pick here. Walker Buehler's way better than Framber Valdez. The Astros have been, they're 3-1, but let's face it, the Mariners suck. So, I don't know, they're as good as we saw, but this is a big test, and if they lose this Dodger series, they're going to be hearing a lot of doubt within people in the media and fans. So, give me the Dodgers, led by Buehler, to come away with the win here. Mariners, Angels at 9:40, Justice Sheffield and Patrick Sandoval. Rockies, Athletics, Antonio Senzatella and Daniel Mengden. And Padres, Giants, Zach Davies in his Padres debut against Jeff Samardzija. So that was a lot of baseball. Now we're going to move on to soccer, and we'll go over the results from the MLS's back tournament from last night, and we will look ahead to the games tonight. So last night, San Jose advances past Real Salt Lake 5-2. San Jose got on the board first on a goal by Kristen Espinoza to go up 1-0. Real Salt Lake ties it a minute later on a goal by Douglas Martinez. And then it's 1-1 at the break. And then you got a penalty kick that goes in the 49th minute to give San Jose a 2-1 lead. Magnus Eriksson, 2-1 San Jose. And then in the 61st minute, 3-1 San Jose on a goal by Valeri Kvazashvili to go up 3-1. And Real Salt Lake makes it a 3-2 game on a goal by Damir Krilyach. And then Eriksson scores. Oh, wait, no, that was in the. Hold on a minute. Before Eriksson scores again, Chris Wondolowski scores in the 86th minute to go up 4-2. And in an extra time penalty kick in the 96th minute, Eriksson again for a second goal of the game to make it 5-2 final. And by the way, a red card was given out to Marcelo Silva, the defenseman on Real Salt Lake. So San Jose moves on. Real Salt Lake goes home. LAFC over Seattle 4-1. So LAFC obviously dominant in the 14th minute. Diego Rossi puts LAFC on the board 1-0. 39th minute, 2-0 LAFC on a goal by Latif Blessing. Then we're at the break. Then Seattle gets on the board on a goal in the 75th minute by Will Bruin. And then LAFC goes up 3-1 on the second goal of the game by Rossi. And then go up 4-1 in the 89th minute on a goal by Brian Rodriguez to make it 4-1. So there's your final. 2 games tonight. Columbus, Minnesota at 8 o'clock. This should be a good game. I really like how Columbus has looked in the tournament. So I'm going to go with Columbus here. They've been playing awesome in this tournament. They went undefeated in group play. And then Minnesota, meanwhile, only a +1 goal differential. They had 2 draws. So I'm going to go with Columbus here for the win, led by Lucas Zelarayan and Gayasi Zardes. So give me Columbus to advance past Minnesota in the first game. 10:30 p.m. tonight, Portland against Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I think, has been the most surprising team that's in the round of 16. They obviously 2-0-1, 6 points, and then Portland 2-1-0 at 7 points. I'm going with Portland here. They have a +2 goal differential. Cincinnati, meanwhile, is a -1 goal differential. I think Portland's the more talented team, led by Diego Chara and Diego Valeri. So give me the Portland Timbers to move on past FC Cincinnati into the final 8. And obviously we have the quarterfinals beginning on Thursday night. So these two are the last games of the round of 16 of the MLS is Back tournament. Now I'm going to do my Major League Baseball power rankings for the season so far. Some of these questions I have for each team were as of Sunday night. And we're going to look back on this, assuming we're still going to be playing in 4 weeks from now, and see like what's right and what's wrong. So 30, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Is Mitch Keller finally putting it together? I think that's their biggest question right now. There's a good start against the Cardinals, who are a quality opponent. So, got to give credit to where credit's due. 29, the Royals. Is Brady Singer here to stay? Brady Singer looked very good in his big league debut. I thought he'd be very good, and it looks like I'm right thus far. 28, the San Francisco Giants. Johnny Cueto, is this his resurgence? We'll see. 27, the Detroit Tigers. Is their starting pitching competent? I was surprised by how decent their starting pitching was. Steven Turnbull pitched well. And they've had a couple other solid performances, most notably against the Reds. But I think there is more towards a no because of how it folded last night against a subpar Royals team. 26, Baltimore Orioles. Is this Alex Cobb's resurgence? He pitched well against the Red Sox. Let's see how he follows it up. 25, the Miami Marlins. Is this Jesus Aguilar's resurgence? Maybe the COVID thing slows him down a little bit because he's on the Marlins and we don't know how they're going to perform the rest of the season, assuming that they continue to play. But he really looked good over the weekend in Philadelphia. The Mariners. Kyle Lewis is the real deal. I've been trying to tell you guys this for a while. He looked really good in his time last year and in summer camp. And he's owned up to the billing so far for Seattle. The Boston Red Sox at 23. Do they have the worst starting pitching in Major League Baseball? I think that could very well be a yes, considering they don't have Chris Sale and David Price is now with the Dodgers and opted out. 22, the Texas Rangers. Is this the worst offense in the big leagues? Yeah, maybe it's because I just don't love the Rockies pitching, but I think that's a TBD. 21, the Colorado Rockies. Is their pitching this good? Kyle Freeland pitched very well against the Rangers. German Marquez pitched well. John Gray even was solid. So I think that's a remain to be seen too. And that's a question I think that should be asked when they go to Coors Field. The Angels at 20. Shohei Ohtani can't pitch, I think, is a simple, just plain overreaction that you're going to be hearing. But I do expect him to bounce back. So I think that is a false statement. But this is an overreaction segment that I like to do after the first weekend or week of the baseball season, as you guys know. 19, the Blue Jays. Ryu can pitch in the American League East. Ryu showed some promise in his start on Thursday night, and then he kind of fell apart. I think we need to see more. 18, the Phillies. Vince Velasquez to the bullpen. Vince Velasquez was just bad the other night against the Marlins. 17, the Brewers. Are we sure Yelich is healthy? I have not been impressed what I've seen with Christian Yelich thus far. He has one home run, was hitting, I believe, under 100. He was like 0.77. 16, the White Sox. Was Lucas Giolito a one-year wonder? He pitched really bad against the Twins, but the Twins have always had success against Giolito, so maybe he's not a one-year wonder. 15, the New York Mets. Edwin Diaz can't pitch in New York. Blew the save the other night against the Braves and then was terrible last year. 14, the Padres. Is this regression for Kirby Yates? Kirby Yates blew a save the other night against the Diamondbacks, or not blew a save, but he was in a tie game and gave up a couple runs, and that was alarming. 13, the Nationals. Is the Steven Strasburg injury this serious? It's going to tell whether he's back soon or not to determine that. 12, the Astros. How big of a loss is Justin Verlander? I think it's a huge loss. I think there's a chance that they're like the 8th seed in this expanded playoffs, assuming they have them. Because that's how important Justin Verlander is. And yes, they still have a good offense, but I just don't trust their pitching without him. 11, the Diamondbacks. Is Zach Gallen the new ace? He pitched pretty well the other night, but he had too many walks. The Cincinnati Reds at 10. Did we overrate them? My case is no. They should have won, arguably, their last 3 games, and you could argue they should be 4-0. Rafael Iglesias did not look good in those 2 games. That's alarming. But they really should have at least won both those Tigers games, and they nearly almost beat the Cubs in what would have been a miraculous comeback last night. So I'm going to say no to that. 9, the Cardinals. Is Adam Wainwright in for one last big year? Maybe. Yeah, the Pirates are not a good team. I get that. Come back to me after a couple more good starts. 8, the Chicago Cubs. Did we disrespect them? I'm probably going to fall for this overreaction, but I think we did disrespect them as fans and media people and podcasters because we saw the age of their starting pitchers and how they're getting older, and Chris Bryant trade rumors and new manager. So, there was a lot of questions about the Cubs coming into the season, and they look like a team that was proved to be a little disrespected by us. But who knows? Maybe they're under 500 in 2 weeks from now, and this is totally wrong. 7, the Athletics. Liam Hendriks regression. Liam Hendriks blew a save the other night against the Angels, and they had somebody else come in and close for them the other day, Joakim Soria. 6, the Minnesota Twins. Is the offense just as good as last year? I'm going to say yes. The addition of Josh Donaldson, I think, makes this offense perhaps even better than last year. Indians. Is Shane Bieber the Cy Young favorite? We're at number 5 with the Indians. I'm going to say maybe. I'm not going to say yes. I think that the Yankees' couple-day break from COVID may actually hurt the team. Let's say it does hurt them a little bit, and Bieber gets on a roll and potentially wins this award. And I picked Bieber to win the award before the season, too. For the Rays, is Yoshi Tsutsugo the real deal? He had a big home run for the Rays the other night on opening night for them, and we'll see. 3, the Braves. Is their offense as good as it showed on Sunday night? I don't think it is. I think there was a lot of bad Mets bullpen, but all those guys are very good players, nevertheless. 2, the Dodgers. How serious is Clayton Kershaw's injury? Obviously, Kershaw was scratched on opening night, and it's like Strasburg. If he's back soon, then it wasn't that big of a deal. If he's not, then it's alarming. And number 1, the New York Yankees. Are we sure James Paxton is healthy? James Paxton did not look good against the Nationals. I was very concerned about James Paxton against the Juan Soto-less Nationals lineup. He just looked not right, is a good way to put it. He looked like he was hurt. So, that's another get back to us in a couple weeks, and if he's pitching like he did the end of last year, then that Nationals thing was just like the jitters and what not. So there you have it for my first set of power rankings. But before we move on to other sports, I want to quickly talk about some tweets that were sent out by some people regarding the baseball situation. Craig Mish tweeted a minute ago, the 2020 Marlins season, at least temporarily, has been paused. This will allow the team to continue to monitor health and safety of players. So, temporarily would mean just for a couple days. And then Joel Sherman, heard MLB would like to get 60-game season in for all teams, but not wedded to it. If some teams play 58, 56, 55, etc., winning percentage would determine playoff spots. Which I think is reasonable, and I said this yesterday, the Marlins are not, I don't think we're making the playoffs regardless of this COVID outbreak or not. And a lot of people are saying in the media, and it's true, I agree with these people, if this was like the Yankees or the Dodgers, this would have been a much, much, much bigger deal. Or even the Houston Astros. But, by the way, if this was the Astros, then the hate Twitter would be out at them and saying karma this, karma that, because of the cheating scandal. But that wouldn't have been appropriate, in my opinion. Although I am a big believer in karma. But for this Marlins thing, like I said, I think they're going to go on with the season. Like yesterday I wasn't sure, but now I feel like they definitely are because they played games yesterday. They're playing games today. It looks like the Yankees and Phillies are finally playing tomorrow, and it's going to go on as scheduled. And then John Heyman said teams are discussing Yankees going to Baltimore for Wednesday and Thursday to take place of Marlins. Yankees and bystanders only Marlins situation are trying to get creative and make up games. Need players' approval, of course. And then Joel Sherman, have heard strongest plan is to have Marlins not play until Monday, give them time to regroup, update, prepare roster. The hope would be that with regional games repeat versus same opponents, that they can make up much of the 60-game schedule with off-day pay and double headers. That's smart. I think that's very smart, and that's what I think they should do too. That is a very smart plan for the league if Joel Sherman is indeed correct. And then Joel Sherman, Phillies also may stop from playing for a few days, but not as long as the Marlins. Plan would be then for the Yankees, who are supposed to play at home versus Phillies Wednesday and Thursday, to instead play at Orioles, who were supposed to play Marlins, which would make sense, and it would make up some division games. And if they get some games in with the Orioles, and maybe there's mutual off days between the Yankees and the Phillies on those days where they were supposed to play the Orioles. So that's a interesting subplot as well. Joel Sherman also says essentially MLB would take the Marlins Phillies out of play for a few days and hope with regional sched they can make up as many of 60 games as possible when cleared to do that. I think that's a good suggestion. I think that's what should happen. So it looks like the Yankees will be playing at Camden Yards tomorrow rather at home, or maybe at Yankee Stadium against the Orioles. Who knows? But yeah, I kind of like that idea. So the Yankees would play the Orioles tomorrow and Thursday, and then 2 days where they were supposed to play the Orioles, and let's say if the Phillies have off or the Phillies are supposed to play somebody else, and they can move those other games to some off days or something. So I think this will work out, and I think that's a very good plan by Major League Baseball. So I had to discuss that real quick. And off baseball for the rest of the podcast, there's news from the weekend that I didn't talk about yesterday. First being is that the New York Jets had traded star safety Jamal Adams to the Seattle Seahawks for 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a safety by the name of Bradley McDougald. I think that both teams did very well in this trade. Derek and I discussed this last night on the show. We both think the Jets did well, that they did as well as they can do. I think they did better than the Giants did in the Odell Beckham trade. They certainly did better than Houston did for DeAndre Hopkins. I think they did just as well as, say, the Jaguars did for Jalen Ramsey, especially if the Rams continued to be bad or disappoint, per se. And obviously I think Seattle, that's a lot to give up, but he certainly makes your defense better, and they're going for, one last kick of the can while Russell Wilson is still playing at elite level. To me, this trade for Seattle comes down to Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson is still Russell Wilson, which I believe he is still Russell Wilson these next couple years, and let's say they pay Jamal Adams too, then it's a win for Seattle, and obviously they would have to make some playoff appearances and maybe win a championship to make that trade look very good, similar to the Rams with Jalen Ramsey. But that trade has not worked out for them because they were disappointing last year. There's that narrative out there about Jared Goff, but to me that Ramsey trade depends on Jared Goff's development rather than most things, because to me the quarterback's the most important position in all of sports, not just football, but in all of sports, and it's a big indicator on how random trades like that work out. And the Raiders, now looking back, did very well for Jadeveon Clowney, but part of that's luck, and part of that luck is Mitch Trubisky not being what the Bears were expecting him to be. So, yeah, good trade for Seattle, great trade for the Jets, and it's going to be interesting to see how this works out with Seattle. And New York sports related, keeping it in New York, another thing Derek and I discussed last night, the New York Knicks hiring of Tom Thibodeau. That news broke on Saturday, and this was after rumor floated out there is that negotiations failed with Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks from the New York Daily News, and then it turns out that that's was a somewhat false report, and that the two sides were finalizing the contract for Thibodeau to become the next head coach of the New York Knicks. Tom Thibodeau is a good coach. he's won with the Bulls, and he made a playoff appearance with the Timberwolves in what was a bad situation. The following things could be said as true. The league has passed Tom Thibodeau by. Tom Thibodeau got a raw deal in Minnesota. I think both those statements are somewhat true. And it's going to be interesting to see how it works out with the Knicks. This is the job that Thibodeau wanted. I don't think Thibodeau wanted to go to Minnesota. I think what hurt Thibodeau in Minnesota, and this is the case for him to work out with the Knicks, is that they gave him all control. And normally when that happens, that does not work out. Like, you cannot be Greg Popovich or Belichick. Like that, those are the exceptions to the rule. It did not work with Thibodeau in Minnesota being the coach/GM. Doc Rivers removed himself as the quote-unquote GM of the Clippers. And look where the Clippers are now. Because the Clippers, with Doc Rivers running the front office as well, did not work out. And with him removed from that front office, look where the Clippers are now. And now that Doc Rivers is just a coach, that helped Doc Rivers. I think this could help Tom Thibodeau. And that example I just gave with Doc Rivers is a really, really good example. So, this is not who I think fits the Knicks the best, but I think ultimately it was a safe bet to make because of his past history and his success, and he knows the franchise. He wants to be here. So I think all of that, factored into Tom Thibodeau wanting this job a lot, and there's going to be that narrative that he runs his players into the ground. He can't develop young players. I said this to Derek yesterday. He gets no credit for the development of Jimmy Butler with the Bulls. He helped develop Jimmy Butler into the player he is today. The reason why he left the Bulls, I think, is because that franchise just became dysfunctional, and that was related to the front office. And that was after Tom Thibodeau left. They had Fred Hoiberg as their coach at the time, who was a bad head coach in the NBA and just belongs in college basketball, as I've said this multiple times on my podcast. And then Thibodeau trades for him in Minnesota, and at the time, it looked like a good deal for Minnesota. And now it looks like a good deal for Minnesota, believe it or not, because all they got from Philadelphia was Robert Covington and Saric and a bunch of like random role guys, and then they trade. I don't give Thibodeau credit for this because he didn't do this. The Covington trade to almost said the Astros, the Rockets, and Minnesota got a lot back for Covington. So I don't give Thibodeau credit for that. He didn't trade away Covington, but he got Covington in the Butler deal. And then Thibodeau got fired from the Timberwolves because the Timberwolves are a bad franchise, or badly run franchise, and now Glenn Taylor's looking to sell the team. But like I said, raw deal in Minnesota, fresh start for Thibodeau. I think he has a chance to develop R.J. Barrett and Mitch Robinson into all-stars the way he did with Derrick Rose before his injury, Joakim Noah, and obviously Jimmy Butler there in Chicago. So at first, I wasn't in love with hiring Tom Thibodeau, but I've come around on it a little bit here because there are cases for Tom Thibodeau that I just laid out with the Bulls, and I think that he got a little bit of a bad rap from the Timberwolves. Before I move on to best bet, I can't ignore the passing of Regis Philbin. I was going to discuss this on Monday's podcast, but I forgot. It was because of the baseball stuff, and I didn't have much time to discuss this, but Regis Philbin passed away on Saturday due to, apparently it was natural causes. There was rumors about a heart attack. You'll hear the COVID rumors for Regis as well. But 88 years old, a legend in our country, in our world. He was in everybody's TVs daily. He's been a news anchor. He obviously hosted live. At first it was Kathy Lee and Regis, then became Regis and Kelly. Obviously then he left Regis and Kelly, then Kelly went with Michael Strahan, and now with Ryan Seacrest. He obviously was the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it's funny because before Jimmy Kimmel started hosting the show, like during the coronavirus, and he had the no audience thing going, like they had a preview show of Jimmy Kimmel's Millionaire, and Regis was a part of that. And Regis looked very good. He looked healthy. So this, his passing to me comes as a shock. But his family probably kept it private. And thoughts and prayers to, obviously, his wife, Joy, and his children, and the rest of the family. And our world lost a good soul in Regis Philbin. President Donald Trump made a nice tribute for him, and a lot of other famous people, not just like in our world, but obviously in the sports world, have made tributes for him. Like Yankees announcer Michael Kay made a nice tribute for him as well because he was on his show Center Stage. So I understand that, and they were friends, and obviously Regis, big Yankees fan, so he was close with people in the Yankees organization. And I think once the Yankees are playing in Yankee Stadium, I think they'll honor Regis, and rightfully so, because Regis was one of the biggest Yankee fans out there for sure. And he was, from what I know, very close with the Steinbrenner family and Randy Levine as well. And now my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Yesterday's worked out. I picked San Jose plus 105 over Salt Lake City in soccer. I'm going to go back to baseball. That was my first win in terms of a soccer bet thus far. So I'm going to look to baseball now. I am going to go with, there's some interesting numbers here on the board for tonight. A lot of the totals are high in these games. I like... this is so tough. I'm going to go with the St. Louis Cardinals over the Minnesota Twins tonight. Plus 128. Carlos Martinez against Homer Bailey. Carlos Martinez's first start in a long time. Homer Bailey had a good run with the Athletics last year, but I just don't love him. It's a risky call here, but plus 128 with the Cardinals is good here. So that's going to be my best bet of the day. The St. Louis Cardinals plus 126 over the Minnesota Twins to keep my winning streak going in best bets. So this would be 5 in a row if I'm able to pull off this Cardinals win, because I started 0-3 since the return of best bets. It was all soccer plays. They were all losers. And then I had the Giants-Dodgers over Thursday. And on Friday, I had the Red Sox-Orioles over. And then yesterday, I had another soccer. I went with San Jose. That was my first soccer win since best bets have returned. And then today, I'm going with the St. Louis Cardinals as an underdog, plus 128 at the Minnesota Twins. So that's it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping all the baseball. Any coronavirus-related baseball news I'll have for you as well. I'm trying to get on a couple guests for the podcast to preview the hockey and NBA returns. Maybe tonight I'll get Ryan Berger on to preview the NBA restart. And maybe tomorrow I'll try to get John Buchagras on to do hockey, but we'll see. And then obviously I had Derek on last night previewing the qualifying round as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.